This is the most excited I have been for Star Wars in so long. Like many of you guys, the Star Wars prequels were so important to me, and that was a major part of my Star Wars journey. I always loved the original trilogy and realized its significance, with it being even more significant than the prequels to pop culture, but the Star Wars prequels are what really built me as a Star Wars fan. Watching the Clone Wars before Disney even ever purchased Star Wars was a huge event for me weekly. Sitting down, seeing what our characters were up to, and this is where I truly fell in love with the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi. With the brand new release of the trailer today finally getting around 2 minutes of footage for the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, this is one of the best trailers I have ever seen. In 2 minutes, the tone of Kenobi is instantly established, as well as the mindset of the Jedi Master and the new threats that he now has to face. So without further ado, acolytes of a galaxy far away, I want to talk about the tone of Kenobi, my overall emotions associated with it, the things in the trailer and the things in the Kenobi series itself that I'm most excited to see, and a little bit more. The things that I love about the Kenobi trailer that it establishes nearly immediately is again the mindset of Obi-Wan. He begins the trailer by saying that all is lost and that the war is over, that the Jedi are gone, but that there is also some hope in the galaxy that still remains, that being Luke Skywalker, the young boy that Obi-Wan has been tasked with protecting, who we actually get a glimpse of in the trailer, as we learn that Obi-Wan Kenobi oversees him living in a cave just a few hundred yards away from the Lars homestead. The John Williams Duel of Fates theme kicking in just as Obi-Wan says that he needs to stay hidden is absolutely masterfully done, and calls back to the music that John wrote for the Star Wars prequels. John Williams has said that he is in fact officially returning to score the Kenobi series' main theme, with that being a huge reveal and really making this an integral part of the Skywalker Star Wars saga. I've said this in earlier videos, but Kenobi is really going to serve as a crucial and a necessity watch for the Star Wars saga itself, as The Mandalorian is sort of a new story and a new telling of events that take place after the events of the initial Skywalker saga, but Obi-Wan itself is going to be an important watch to get an overall picture of what the Skywalker saga will ultimately entail and lead up to. To me, the Obi-Wan series is being pitched as not really an extended piece of the Skywalker saga, but essential viewing for the Skywalker saga. We get to see the day-to-day life of the aged Jedi Master on the planet of Tatooine, as he presumably spends much of his time trying to get together all of the resources that he can in order to essentially just survive. We see him looking through scrap metal, working on a ship, and simply living out his day-to-day life as a Jedi Master in exile. A Jedi Master who Ewan McGregor has said we find in an exceptionally dark place at the beginning of the Obi-Wan series, a place that is marked by Ewan McGregor's voiceover, stating that they ultimately lost the war that they fought all that time ago, and that now the Order, the Jedi Order, and Obi-Wan Kenobi's purpose means so much less than it once did. We are next introduced to some of the main primary antagonists of the Kenobi series, at least in the beginning of the series itself, that being the Inquisitors, two of which we have seen before in a brand new Inquisitor played by Moses Ingram. The brand new Inquisitor is stated to be more reckless than the other two Inquisitors. As we see here, she's slightly younger than the fifth brother and the Grand Inquisitor, both previous Inquisitors that showed up in Star Wars Rebels, with the Grand Inquisitor being a master of Sarisu, same as Obi-Wan Kenobi, the all-defensive form. The Grand Inquisitor is also the highest rank among the Inquisitors, with it being based on a number system, again being the second, third, fourth, and fifth, but the Grand Inquisitor being the most skilled and the most talented of all of them, himself being a former Jedi Knight, as with the rest of the Inquisitors. However, the Grand Inquisitor is a former Jedi Temple Guard by the name of Rakesh Thanos, who became disillusioned with the Jedi Order before the events of Revenge of the Sith and was inspired by a speech given by Barriss Offee in the Clone Wars, a speech that stated that the Jedi had completely lost their way. This ultimately prompted the Grand Inquisitor, who again is the main antagonist in the first two episodes of Kenobi, to leave the Jedi Order, where he was ultimately tracked down by Palpatine and converted to the dark side. The first of many Inquisitors, 11 that we know of currently in Star Wars canon. It is the Grand Inquisitor's job, along with Lord Vader, to teach the rest of the Inquisitors how to most effectively hunt down and kill Jedi. The Inquisitors are described by Maul in Star Wars Rebels as rabid dogs, individuals and dark side wielders that will hunt down the Jedi, while Vader is more concerned with establishing the Empire under his master Palpatine. Speaking of Palpatine, on a side note, Ian McDiarmid did drop that he likely will actually be appearing in the Kenobi series, as a prominent figure, of course the most prominent figure in all of Star Wars, Emperor Palpatine. Back to the Inquisitors though. The Grand Inquisitor is so dangerous because of his ability to analyze a Jedi's fighting pattern and style nearly immediately. We see this put on display in Star Wars Rebels, where he is able to analyze the fight patterns of Kanan Jarrus, determining who his master was, and that he too was a utilizer of Form 3 Surisu. It is the Grand Inquisitor's job, as we see here, to teach the other Inquisitors. We see in the trailer as the voiceover of the Grand Inquisitor starts that the Inquisitors are approaching their home, that being Fortress Inquisitorius, which is based on the planet, the water world of Nur. This is also the final location in Jedi Fallen Order, where Cal Kestis ventures into the Inquisitorius fortress in order to gain back the holocron, a holocron that contains the names of all of the Force-sensitive younglings in the entire galaxy that the Jedi had yet to locate before the Order fell. Here, we actually get to see this for the first time in live action, with Jedi Fallen Order presumed to have taken place several years before the events of Obi-Wan Kenobi. The Inquisitors also mentioned that the Jedi are ingrained to protect the innocent, with them being able to use this as one of their primary means to locating and ultimately killing Jedi, stating that it is a weakness and a disease inside the remaining Jedi. This is actually a prominent feature that is also noted in Star Wars canon as well as Star Wars Legends, and one of the major reasons why there are so few Jedi left at this period of time in the Star Wars universe. The Inquisitors and the clone troopers and stormtroopers alike will directly target the innocence of the galaxy in order to draw out a Jedi, as we see on display here on Tatooine as well as other worlds. We also get our first look inside Fortress Inquisitorius, where we get our look at an unnamed Inquisitor at this point in time, the new Inquisitor Reva, as well as the fifth brother. The fifth brother being a prominent antagonist again in Star Wars Rebels, along with the second sister. It should also be noted that at this point in time, the second sister, known as Trilla, would have been killed by Darth Vader on the fortress itself, events that took place during Fallen Order. It's important to note here that Reva is an Inquisitor that we have not encountered before and is not one of the 10 confirmed Inquisitors that we know of in Star Wars canon. Same with this other brand new Inquisitor, who is also presumably a brand new recruit. This adds even more to the Star Wars mythos, as it means that the Inquisitors were actively recruiting people after the events of Jedi Fallen Order, likely to replace their Inquisitors that they lost over the course of the game. We also see that Reva, the Inquisitor, has made her way to Tatooine. Presumably, from what we've heard of the series, Reva will be the one that will catch on to the trail of Obi-Wan Kenobi, with the other Inquisitors believing that he is long dead and discarding her beliefs, because of the fact that she is a lower-ranking Inquisitor. Nonetheless, she is obsessed with finding Obi-Wan and proving herself to Darth Vader, her master. We also see a brand new world that Obi-Wan Kenobi has ventured to, where Reva as well as the stormtroopers appear to be hot on his trail. The reason for this is according to reports that Leia Organa herself, the other Skywalker twin, has gotten herself into some trouble, with Leia needing the help of Obi-Wan Kenobi. In the events of A New Hope, it makes it sound as if Leia is actually aware of Obi-Wan and may have actually met him before, which is what we're likely seeing here, as apparently over the course of this trailer we only get glimpses at the first 2 episodes of the series, and we've been hearing that only the first 2 episodes take place on Tatooine. This is Obi-Wan in active pursuit of trying to save Leia, who Bail Organa, again played by Jimmy Smits, has reached out to the Jedi Master for his help. This is ultimately what is going to lead Obi-Wan off-world, and why it is still safe for Obi-Wan to return to Tatooine and for Darth Vader to have no knowledge of the existence of Luke Skywalker at the end of the series. We also see present here is the Grand Inquisitor and likely the fifth brother as well, even though it is stated that Reva is the one that will have the obsession over hunting down Obi-Wan. The other 2 Inquisitors likely take her more seriously after Obi-Wan is spotted. It is also likely at the end of this episode where Lord Vader, who is rumored to appear at the end of the 3rd episode and then be the primary antagonist for the remainder of the 3-episode series, we'll hear that Obi-Wan is alive and hear tale of him, deciding to actively hunt his former master himself. We also get several new shots of this brand new planet, including the Inquisitors. Again, the great part of this trailer is it's presumably only taking place over the first 3 episodes, and any footage from the last 3 episodes are not featured in the trailer at all, including the omission of Lord Vader himself. Anyway, we get our first live action appearance of the Inquisitorius double-bladed spinning lightsaber, a lightsaber that many fans have somewhat of a love-hate relationship with. Let's just hope they don't use it like helicopters like they did at the end of Star Wars Rebels. We get a look at the fifth brother marching with the Stormtrooper battalion, again on the same world that we see earlier with Reva and the Grand Inquisitor, as well as her tracking someone down on Tatooine who appears to be fleeing from the Inquisitors, likely holding knowledge of Obi-Wan. Some have speculated that this could actually actually be Uncle Owen himself, and the two costumes do actually match up very closely, meaning that this is actually likely Uncle Owen fleeing from the Inquisitors. This leads a lot into the strained relationship between Owen and Obi-Wan Kenobi, as Owen deep down truly hates Obi-Wan and believes that his presence on Tatooine only serves to threaten the young Luke, something that is ultimately proven here, as the Inquisitors likely would not be on the planet if Obi-Wan were not there and Luke would not be in danger. Uncle Owen is fearful that Luke will ultimately end up like his father did in Lord Vader Anakin, in pursuit of adventure and danger, ultimately though becoming one of the most menacing and ferocious individuals in the entire Star Wars galaxy, a pure tyrant. What comes next is, in my opinion, some of the most interesting details in the Kenobi series, as it appears as if Obi-Wan is actually wielding a blaster here, not wanting to pull out his lightsaber and reveal that he is in fact a Jedi, or give the Inquisitors any room to converge in on him. This is likely why he is in fact using a blaster if this does in fact prove to be Obi-Wan. We've known quite famously in the past that Obi-Wan is very much against blasters after various comments he made to General Grievous after using one to defeat the cyborg, but it's quite possible that now he is in fact falling back on his use of this blaster in order to preserve himself and not confirming to the Inquisitors that he is in fact a Jedi. And then a final bit of the trailer, it appears to be what looks like Obi-Wan placing his hand on some sort of symbol, a symbol that represents the Jedi. It seems crude, but it likely means that whoever is there is a Jedi sympathizer, and Obi-Wan may find refuge here, and some sort of help in his pursuit of saving Leia. Again, the footage in the trailer only appears to take place over the first 3 episodes of Kenobi, with Vader only even hinted at with his breath, but it is confirmed that Vader will in fact be in Kenobi, played again by Hayden Christensen, not to mention that there will also be flashbacks which have been confirmed to take place over the Clone Wars conflict, meaning we'll get to see Ewan and Hayden together in their Clone Wars attire. For now though, the existence of Vader is only hinted at, but he will be a major player to come in the future of the Kenobi series. But anyway, my friends, this sort of did turn out to be an in-depth breakdown of the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer, even though when I started it off, it was just going to be my first reaction, so I hope you guys enjoyed. What are your thoughts on the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer? What are your thoughts on this time period of Star Wars, and how do you feel about the tone that Kenobi has ultimately created here? Are you excited to see the Inquisitors in live action? And are you excited to see what Kenobi has in store for the 3 episodes that we haven't glimpsed at all? As always, my friends, thank you so much for the support and love on the channel. It means the world to me. May the Force be with you, and I will hopefully see you in the next video.